The Young Turks chime in on the case of the 30-year-old Kino Jimenez, who bullied and terrorized a couple of scrawny teenagers. Naturally, we're going to hear from them that they're going to be condemning these horrible acts, since anti-bullying is that's a very leftist, platform. I mean, nobody's for bullying, but man, the left has really taken it to a whole new level. So let's find out what the Young Turks have to say about this. Let me watch and I'll get right back to you. Well, I just saw it. I'm not going to show it to you. You can go onto the Young Turks and see it for yourself. Unfortunately, that's going to promote that video and give it some even more views. But it starts off like this. Mr. Hassan Pecker says, this is going to piss a lot of people off. All right? So already we're getting into gloating. Then he goes right into an Alex Jones segment where he starts talking about how crazy Alex Jones is. Now listen, sweet leftist, I know Alex Jones is over the top. Sure, he might say some crazy things, but what does that have to do with bullying, with a trained fighter bullying a couple of scrawny teenagers? Do you understand that's called misdirection? Anyways, but let's find out what Mr. Pecker actually has to say about this. After Mr. Pecker is done with his little rant on Alex Jones, which again has nothing to do with bullying and terrorizing the defenseless and the vulnerable, he goes right into saying this, and I quote, "But all jokes aside," right? Because he was just making jokes. He's just joking about old Alex Jones. But all jokes aside, not tolerating fascists and deplatforming them is good, because allowing them to push their violent ideologies is much worse for our well-being in the long run. But while this administration is rapidly approaching full tilt fascism at a pace much faster than our previous imperialist. So, okay, I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you. Fascist, 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 Nazis, 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 everyone's a racist. You're taking away from the fact that this man bullied those kids. Now, dear leftist, I want you to make the connection here, right? Do not stop tuning into the Young Turks. We want to see that their numbers are sustainable, right? So they keep getting that Facebook money and that YouTube money. We want you to keep doing that. Here's why. When you do not come out against this type of behavior, this type of terrorism, where you are condoning that the strong prey upon the vulnerable, there are many other leftists who are still very reasonable people. And when they see this, they think to themselves, I cannot be associated with this particular ideology, your ideology. And people are leaving your ideology in droves. There's a whole movement. It's called the walk away movement. You're not gaining in numbers. You're doing nothing but losing. And this, Mr. Hassan Pecker, is one of the reasons why. Because when you equate that, when you see something like that and you say, well, they had it coming because they're fascists. They're part of the government structure that is fascist, and all these people are Nazis. Well, only people with a low IQ are going to go along with that, right? But there's a lot of people on both sides that when they see that, they're going to say, I need to distance myself as far away from this as I can possibly get. And ultimately, that's what I want. I want you to never have power again in your lifetime. I don't want to see the Democrats in a seat of power ever again for as long as I live. And for as long as you live. And if you keep doing this, you're going to give me what I want, right? So keep it up, dear leftists. Keep making excuses. Keep calling everybody a fascist and a Nazi and a racist and a Klans member, or whatever it is that you people say, right? Because you're helping me, ultimately. So thank you for that, and good night.